All right, so I wanted to run through this real quick on how to set up how to get through the errors with importing the standard assets into the most modern version of Unity. So let's just run through this real quick. So basically, I just created a blank scene right here, nothing in it, good to go. So this is where we're going to start with this thing. So I'm going to go into my package manager. I keep mine up here. Package manager in my assets. Let's import standard assets real quick. Where's my standard assets? There it is. Import these. And for what we're going to be doing, I mean, we don't need all this stuff in here, but it's worthwhile just to import it, just to experiment with sometimes. It makes this project is when you have all this in here, it's huge. But and we're only using just a fraction of it, but just in the name of moving things along, I'm just going to let this thing be gigantic. So it's going to bring this all in and import them all. Close out everything that we've got open already. Don't save. Sorry, takes a little while. I feel like it could be a little faster, but I don't know if I. Yeah, all the stuff that doesn't need to be in there. I mean, it's got like tons of airplanes and vehicles and scenes and like massive stuff. But it's cool to play around with. Cool. All right. So when it does that, if we go over my console right here, we're going to end up with a slew of errors and issues right there. Don't worry about any of this stuff right now. So let's just go back to our basic scene, our basic project. And I want to go into, for what we're going to be using for, at least for this example right here, it's under sample scenes, scenes, and let's do character third person. So if I double click on the character third person, brings us into our basic scene right here. And what I'm going to do is go back to my console and clear everything else out. And what it's going to do is it's going to clear everything that's all the errors that are unnecessary, because basically it's giving us before general issues. Now it's going to tell us what are the issues with this scene. And fortunately for us, we only have two main issues right here. So what I'm going to do is double click on this one here to open up Visual Studio, pull in, and it tells us, okay, that's fine. Basically, it's telling us that it's got an issue with GUI texture. It should be UI.image instead. But as I mentioned before, what we're going to do is we're going to say using Unity engine.ui semicolon, and instead of GUI texture, it says just use UI.image. But since we're using this namespace called up here, it's, well, I guess they call it namespace. I don't know what it's called in C#, but I'm gonna say, so it said to use UI.text or UI.image, but since we're using this right here, we don't need to, so we're just gonna use image. Cool. And if I hit Control S, save it, click back over here, should update, and that went away. Beautiful. So it's still pulled up over here, so I can see it. So if I need to change something else, I could. Let's double click on this one. It's going to open up in C# or in Visual Studio, and it's telling us that we're supposed to use GUI text is obsolete. Removed UI.text instead. So we have to do the same thing here using Unity Engine. .ui. And then where was my error right here? GUI text. It said to use just what? UI.text, which is just text for us. Save it. Go back over here. I'm not sure what it's doing here. I didn't understand what it was doing. Cool. Let's get some errors here. If I hit clear, they go away. So basically, that means we can still play our game, and we can play our game. Awesome. So that's all we had to do to get this thing rolling. So that is, in essence, how we get the game up and running. So that from there out, you shouldn't need to be doing any more code or anything like that. Unless you go into other scenes, you may have to tweak some stuff in other scenes too. Most of the time, if you're doing the UI dot whatever, this technique works. But if you're come across some other more gnarly issues, you have to just Google it and figure it out from the that sort of stuff. So, all right, cool. Let's call it there.